Hello, everyone. Welcome to The World is Waiting, a Travel World School Vision Map workshop for 2023. I am Nancy Schmidt, and we are a traveling family of four with our dog, if you believe that. World schooling the kids right now. Currently, as I'm recording this, we're in our 4th month, and I think the kids' last count was 8 countries. We are doing a little bit of a slow travel model, which means we're just staying in one country at a time and then in between seeing other countries as we move from one to the other. And that's been working pretty well. But I conducted this workshop live for a group of World School parents, and it was just so much fun. I decided to record this section just for anyone who might find it helpful and useful. So let's move forward and dive right in. This is all about setting goals and intentions for 2023. But in order to do that, I wanted to use some tools that you may or may not have seen before, but are very useful in helping us to establish what we need to focus on, how to prioritize, and then the steps we need to take to actually achieve our goals. So if you take a look, let me find my... If you take a look at this tool, it is called the Wheel of Life. And this was developed by Paul J. Meyer to help people examine areas of their life that they feel need more growth or attention. The idea here is that there's these different areas and different pieces of the pie of our life. And we are at any one time either more satisfied or less satisfied with that area of our life. If we look, say, at finances, maybe, we're feeling really, really good about where we are salary-wise and where we are budget-wise. So we might rank it like an 8. There's always room for growth, right? But maybe in our health, we haven't been maybe doing enough self-care or exercise, and we've kind of fallen off that a little bit. So maybe we're about a 6 on that. As you go around, the idea is to rank it, each area, and then you connect the dots. And if that shape that you make is more of a wheel shape, you're pretty balanced in your life. But you may still have areas of growth if you are falling anywhere around 5 or hovering around there. So it's just a great tool for looking at life satisfaction and overall life satisfaction and what areas you might want to improve. A great way to set goals. We're going to use this as a guiding tool for us, but of course we're going to be looking at one area of our life, which is our world school travel dreams, and that might fall under fun and recreation, or you might think of it more as personal growth, whatever, doesn't matter what you label it. This is just a guide. So we're going to take those categories and we're going to use them to fill out a vision map. And so that's what our focus will be, is the vision map. This is one way to do a vision map. And you can see that these categories here are the categories from the Wheel of Life. And you can see that even though they listed all of them out, they're really only focusing on 3. So perhaps those are the areas they recognize need improvement. You can do a vision map like this. You can also just do it with black and white if that's more your jam, or you can use an outline or a list, because I love lists and they are very helpful as well. So the important thing here is to pick the format you like best. I really still love color and kind of, drawing with things and making pictures. So I like to use my pens and all that. For this particular thing, just have a piece of paper and a pencil, because you can always go back, redo it. And the idea is to post it somewhere that, is visible so that you can always be reminded of it and see that as a visual. So let's begin then with this one area that we want to focus on for this workshop, traveling/world school vision. And you can put whatever you want in that circle. Just go ahead and draw or write that in your on your piece of paper in the middle. And we're going to start with a visualization exercise, because Sometimes we don't know necessarily where we want to go, or we might have a pretty clear idea. But this visualization exercise will help kind of establish a baseline, a feeling of what you would like to have. So we'll start there. Go ahead and close your eyes and get comfortable in your seat. You can put everything down for now. And you can pause this at any time if you need to spend more time in one area or another. But for this, we'll just take a nice deep breath in and out and close your eyes. I want you to think of one of your favorite things to do when you're traveling or on vacation, or somewhere that makes you feel peaceful, content, happy. Maybe it's not a place, a specific place per se, but it's an area or a type of environment. Is it the forest? Is it a beach? Wherever that place might be, go ahead and place yourself there in your mind's eye. And look around. What do you see? Maybe you see birds or something in the water. Maybe you feel the wind or smell something that smells delicious. Something's cooking something in a cafe on a busy street. Visualize what you might be doing at that moment. What activity just makes you smile and lights you up? Is it hiking to the top of a mountain? Is it paddling in the ocean? Create that scene for yourself and really hold that in your heart as we move forward and answer some other questions. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and out and open your eyes. Get out that piece of paper and pencil again and maybe a different page. Go ahead and write down the answers to these questions. And again, remember, you can pause at any time. What do you love most about travel? And hopefully this visualization helped put you in a space of thinking about what you love. But what do you love most about travel? The second question, why do you want to travel with your family? Why is it important to you? What motivates you to do that? There might be one answer, there might be a couple, that's okay. Also, where have you always dreamed to travel? So this is where you can have a lot of fun, right? But only write down maybe your top 2 or 3 that come to your mind right away. Those are usually the things that are the most on our mind and in our heart. And what things are on your bucket list to see? So not countries or cities necessarily, but actual things, like are there monuments or a piece of art, a particular lake? Next set of questions, and again, pause it anytime you need to. Deal with what you need to feel content and happy and fill your cup, and then what you don't need. So the first question, what are the types of activities you like to participate in while traveling? These are things that you really, really enjoy. Is it going to the museum or a history walk? Is it hiking? What fills you up? What fills your cup? Maybe it's just reading on the beach, or having that moment to yourself, some time alone, time for yourself. Write down 2 or 3 things. And then what are the biggest challenges you have while traveling? And you might have to think back, or it might be something that you're experiencing right now. What are 1 or 2 things that are pretty big challenges? And perhaps these could be, or one of them could be something that you focus on to improve. And then if you could shift one thing about traveling, what would it be? One thing, if you could just change one thing And remember, brainstorming, we don't have to think too much about it. Let's just really dream about that. If you could shift one thing, what would it be? The answers to these questions and the visualization that we did before should guide you in looking at what you want to prioritize and what goals you want to create around your traveling and world schooling dream. And we're going to go back to the tool. So now that you have the answers to these and you have these kind of held in your heart a little bit, let's focus back on the tool, the Wheel of Life tool. We can actually look at this tool through the lens of your travel and world school dreams. For instance, we can look at the area of finance and we can say, oh my gosh, I know it costs a lot of money. I really am at the beginning stages of this and I don't know much about how much it costs. So my confidence here in this area is a little low and I need to do some research. So maybe I'm going to score it a 4. Like I don't know, how much it costs or what budget we need. So it's pretty low. Or you might be in the case where you've already figured that out. And so it's pretty high. It's like 9. I feel pretty comfortable with where we're at and what we have to travel with. Business career might be more about your work that you will be doing while you're traveling if you're choosing to work. If you're not, maybe that's not a concern at all. You're just taking the year off, love it, or however much time off. And so, you're good. You're satisfied with that aspect. So 10 is good. Maybe though, you may not be as satisfied because, working remote can be difficult while you're traveling, right? It can be tricky, especially if you're world schooling the kids. So score each of these areas, go around. Physical environment, let's think about that in terms of housing, where you're going to live, maybe places to travel. Fun and recreation could be like things that you want to do and other members of your family would have fun doing. Personal growth, sometimes this gets left out when we think about our traveling goals, but I think it can be one of the most important things because we have to have a mindset of certain, flexibility and curiosity in order to enjoy, and that can be difficult. So maybe that's an area that you have to work on or want to work on. Romance, let's just say that that's the relationship area. So if you have a partner or will be traveling with a partner, how's that going? How is it healthy with regard to travel? Are you on the same page? So rank it again, 0 for being satisfied. Sorry. Yes, 0 for being satisfied, not satisfied. Let me go back. Oh, I'm getting mixed up. Strike that. 0 for being, not satisfied to 10 being fully satisfied, and the lower numbers are the things to work on and focus on. Family and friends, that could be the connection. And you can break this out. You can have 2 different sections here. And romance might be more relationships in this case. So I kind of think of the kids as falling under that, but they could have their own category as well. So family, friends, connecting, how are you going to stay connected? Are you going to need a community? Do you know that that's something that you and your family need while you're traveling? Connecting with expats or hubs. And then your personal health, how you're eating, maybe exercise, all of that, okay? So you can pause the video, go ahead and rank all of these, and then we'll move forward. Okay, now that you've had a chance to rank everything, I want you to look at your rankings and then connect the dots and make a connection that kind of looks like a circle. Maybe it has a funny shape to it. So some may be down here, some may be out here, but what shape does it look like? The ones that are under 5 or close to kind of being lower, those are going to be areas that would be good to focus on. Of course, you can choose to focus on anything you want to, but this is just one way, one tool to look at what's in balance and what's out. What are you satisfied and what do you need work on? Oops, sorry, that was a little bit loud. Our neighbor. We're in Costa Rica right now, so we do have some neighbors. Okay, so what shape that is, and then choose the 2 or 3 areas that need the most work or you want to focus your most energy on for this next year. We're just going to look at a few, okay? So how do we then translate this into our map, our vision map? Well, we have our circle in the middle. That is our, our guiding statement, our dreams for traveling and world schooling. And now we can put circles out here, joined by lines, and however you want to do it is fine. Straight lines, again, lists. These are the areas that I chose this year to focus on. So we do need to decide on where to go next, and we do need to look at the kids. Kids, different categories under kids might be wellness, how, their well-being, connection with friends, education. But for us, kids education is going to be important because I'm looking at trying to incorporate more of my own time and focusing my energy on building my own business. So right now I teach these kinds of classes in addition to interpersonal communication and intercultural communication with college students all across the nation. But I want to really bring those concepts into a different audience. So I need the kids to also have a curriculum that they can use that I don't have to develop, because that takes a lot of time for me. So in doing that, one of my big goals for this year is that I want to find something that works for them, that we're satisfied with, and that is going to be a good fit for our family and what our needs are now turning into. So you should now have used the wheel to look at what areas to focus on, and then put those areas of focus on your vision map. Okay. When we are looking at goals, so let me go back real quick. So let's say I'm going to focus on kids education right here. Now I'm going to create some goals that will help me feel better about the kids' education, okay? That will be satisfying. So whatever that area of growth is for you. The goals, we need to be sure our goals are SMART goals, or at least follow most of these guidelines, but they're not too general, they're specific. So I could say in general, oh, I want the kids to be happy. Well, what does that really mean? That's a goal per se, right? The ultimate hope. But how do I achieve that? How do I achieve that happiness? Or how do I make sure that the school that we choose is a really good quality school that will give them a good environment, support them, whatever those things are, brainstorm those things, and then turn them into specific goals using the SMART guidelines. Make the statement specific and clear, measurable, meaning, like, for instance, if I wanted to, I think, improve my well-being or overall well-being. Meditation, I know, has helped me in the past, and I would need to get back to it. So instead of just saying, I'm going to meditate every day, be measurable, be more specific about it. I'm going to meditate 5 minutes a day, 80% of the time. So I'm going to try every day, but I'm going to really hit that 80% of the time. And that's very, very realistic. It's very actionable, and it's time bound too. I'm going to start next week, let's say, okay? So just go back and do that for each area. Create some goals to help you achieve more satisfaction in that area. Okay. Let me focus in then on kids' education. So one of the goals that I have is, in order to be more satisfied with the kids' education and that balance I talked about before, I needed to decide on the best hybrid curriculum that will allow for flexibility, but also has some structure, because I need the kids to be engaged with something that they are interested in, but I also want us to be able to incorporate all the things that we're doing and learning about each culture that we're visiting. I don't want to have to create the curriculum like I have in the past, because that takes up a lot of my time. So I want them to be able to have like an hour of time, focused time on their own, being self-directed, and so that I can have an hour of time for me, for my business, and building that. So the next step then, once you have your goal, is to then go through and add the steps. And you could just brainstorm the steps at this point. You may not know all the steps, but go ahead and brainstorm steps that you feel you need to take to achieve that goal. Mine in this case, research possibilities, talk to our kids and show them the different options that I've sort of narrowed down based on budget, based on time, based on flexibility, all the criteria that I have had, but I've spent time on thinking about. And then I want to talk to the admin of the school, decide on when to order, when to buy it, that kind of thing, and when we're going to actually put it in place. Okay. So steps are really valuable. And once you have brainstorm steps, go ahead and put them in priority order. Like what needs to happen first, what's logical to happen second. And then a really important piece of this is to attach a date, attach a time frame, and add it to your calendar. So you may know that, okay, I know the steps I need to take. I'm going to carve out time every week to work on this and put it right in your calendar. Okay. So once you do this for one area, for say, for one of the goals, list out the steps and put it in your calendar, and go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Okay, once you've done it for one, you can then go back and do it for the other goals you have around the area you want to improve. Then, once you're done with that area, go into the next area and start creating goals to help you achieve more satisfaction in that area. Again, it could be labeled anything that you want. So your area might be more specific than mine, which just says kids education, right? So it's okay, whatever process is best for you. The important thing is to go through these steps right now and fill it in as much as possible, okay? All right, once you have that done, again, you are filling in your map, and you are now going to look at and prioritize what needs to happen first. So maybe before you even launch out and decide where you're going to go, you need to know how much money you have in the budget. So of course the budget would be a priority. So that's what's going to go in your calendar first, okay? And work on them based on your timeline. Now you can involve other members of your family. So now that you have your vision map really fleshed out, you can involve other people in your family. Depending on the ages, you can even include the kids in this process. Have them go back in the video, do the process for themselves, and then share it with each other. Depending on the ages of the kids, you can share your vision maps, or you can just ask questions. Like, we love table topics. And these are some family table topics. We usually do table topics after dinner or during dinner while we're eating and having fun talking about something. These are fun. You can go online, Google table topics for different age groups, and there's fun questions too. So incorporate different questions. It just is a great connector, like to get everyone together and connecting, talking about something that's silly or funny and not necessarily so serious. But if you really want to get your kids interacting and telling you and giving you feedback about traveling and challenges and what they'd like to do in activities, these are some questions you can use. And then you can also have brainstorm sessions. You can, spend an afternoon looking at YouTube videos of bloggers or vloggers that you love and want to follow, or maybe, like a travel author. I love Rick Steves. I know that he's a little old for my kids, but this is fun for them to go through and show me and share with me people that they enjoy watching too and following. So do that. And with the younger kids, you might not get a lot of, concrete answers. That's totally fine, but you are their parent and you can observe and see what they enjoy and observe what they enjoy and incorporate that into your travel. So all of you can be on the same page. And again, remembering that you're not always going to be able to hit everything 100%, Not everyone's going to be happy with activity because you might have kids that have opposite needs or like opposite activities like I do. But knowing that you've all talked about it, everyone's been heard, their ideas are being put into place, and maybe that balance can be achieved throughout your traveling time, okay? A family vision board is super fun to do. We like to do it as a family in between Christmas and New Year's, and just to envision visually with pictures and things what we want for the next year. So a vision map is more, textual, more goal-oriented, has steps involved, concrete, right? And that will help you achieve your goals. Absolutely. A vision board is fun. Translate what you've created in your vision map and put it on a vision board for yourself and post it up so that you have these wonderful, beautiful visuals. You don't have to do it with magazines or anything like that, especially if you're traveling. Do it on a digital board. You can create it even in PowerPoint, but just go out, find pictures that are related to the things you have on your list in your vision map and put them together. And you can even stick it on your phone as the first picture on your phone, so it's always there for you to see. Maybe it's your screensaver, that kind of thing, right? And this is a fun activity for little kids too, so get them involved as well. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, and actually spending time with yourself, envisioning what you want for yourself and for your family, for your traveling and world schooling dreams for next year. But now what? What do we do now? I have this recording, obviously, you are watching it now. I think I left this on from the workshop, but let me know if you want to get together for regular check-in and chats. I'm going to be hosting just a get-together of like-minded families that want to join once a month. And we'll have different topics next month because I'm doing this in December right now. As I'm recording this is December. We're going to get together in January to talk about, where we're at. Hey, let's do a check-in. How did the vision mapping process go? Where are you at? And then we're going to talk about habit formation and how you can really start incorporating habits, scaffolding habits to make big impacting changes. Okay, so little topics like that, and it'll change based on the needs of the group. But if you're interested, send me an email. I might have your email already, but definitely do that. And then, feel free, if you want to see what we're up to, just follow us at our Sidetrack Life on Instagram, Facebook page. And yeah, I'd love to follow you back. So thank you so much. I hope that you get all that you envision and dream this next year. And I know that using a vision map and setting these goals for yourself with specific steps is a wonderful way to achieve those dreams. Thanks everyone for joining. Take care.